Let's start off in seated today. We utilize sound because it helps us get into that clearer mental state. And so remember, everything that we do here in our practice, there's a purpose for it. And that's what the sound is for. It helps us align ourselves with a higher feeling of existence, a higher experience. Something beyond our concerns, beyond our everyday ordinary thinking. So with that in mind, let the breath be gentle, let it just flow in and out. Really give yourself to every breath. Now, invest a little bit more energy into it by deepening the breath and offering more to the breath. As you give to it, give into it, be completely present with it. And we'll be taking an inhalation. Make sure you empty those lungs, and then inhaling. We're going to come right to hands and knees and begin to lift the right leg. Lift the right leg up, coming right into spinal balance. So we'll just press into that right heel. And we can keep the hands down for now and squeeze the shoulders back, draw the belly in. And let's simply take 5 deep breaths to really feel the activation of the right glute. Keep the neck long without dropping the head. We want to keep the crown of the head forward. Now before we come out of this, go ahead and move that right foot in circles. And then we'll take the right knee to the right hand and come right into a pigeon, taking the left leg back. First, let's come into back bend. So we'll prop the trunk up with the hands down, maybe the fingertips pressed down and the palms up. And let's make sure that we're in that deep breath. So most of us are comfortable with that Ujjayi pranayama. See if you want to go into that, or if not, just make sure the breath is consistent. And of course, if you're in victorious breath, Ujjayi pranayama, you have that sound that's occurring. The sound itself, again, brings us here, keeps us present, and it gives us feedback as to how we are breathing, so we can keep staying with the breath. Now let's begin to lower the trunk down, and this is a good spot for some support. So if you have a block close by and the forehead doesn't find the mat easily, Just bring the forehead to your support. And we're going to deactivate the neck a little bit more with every breath, letting the head get heavier and heavier. If you feel like you have a little bit more space for the right leg to move to the left, scooch the right foot over to the left. So long as the hips stay balanced and you don't lean over to the right, then you can do that. Let's take a few more deep breaths. Of course, if doing this on your back is better for your body, make sure to offer it that adjustment. And we'll take a few more breaths, so let's be here for a good minute. If you feel like bringing the side of the face to the mat or to the hands, that gives it a different feeling. If you can get low enough and take the right arm back with the palm flipped up, it'll help relax that right shoulder a little bit. So just make any adjustments so that you can be here fully. We'll take 3 more breaths. And we'll start to come out of that. So that was about a couple minutes. So let's begin to rise into back bend. And we'll just reverse right out of this. So you can roll over the back toes to scooch the right foot under the hip. Left knee plants coming forward slightly. And then lift the right leg behind. Actually, we're going to come into a side plank from here. And you can come into a full side plank or you can modify it. So if we're going to modify, bring the left foot to the left. The right foot can plant. Reach the right arm up. Maybe a little bit of a wave with the right arm. Finding some extension as you take it up and over the right ear and then down towards the right thigh. So now we're going to do something just a little different and just see how it works for your body. Make any adjustments you need. Let's take the right foot and plant it pretty much right in front of the left knee. So it's kind of funny because it's just a transition. So not directly in front, but towards the side of the mat. Then we're going to take the left leg to the back of the mat. The knee lifts, and then roll to the left edge of the left foot. Now if it's too much on the hand, you can come down to the forearm. And maybe I will even encourage that you try it with the forearm too, just so you can kind of feel the difference. So again, the left edge of the left foot is on the mat. The rest of the foot is lifted. That right arm is risen. So it's kind of like a twisting dragonfly, but that left leg is in a different position. And then we'll exhale the right hand down, come back into table. And from here, we'll come into spinal balance with the left leg. So next inhalation, lift the left leg behind, press through the heel. Again, if hands are getting tired, you can come to fingertips, you can come down to forearms, or you can stay here and be with the discomfort, which itself is strengthening the wrist and stretching them at the same time, depending on how we have that flexion, right? So let's be here, pressing through the left heel, drawing the belly in, squeezing the shoulders back, leveling the left hip with the right, so it might need to drop a little bit. A couple more deep breaths. Make sure not to drop the head, but keep it slightly lifted. And we'll exhale, take the left knee to the left hand, right leg slides back. Prop the heart up first, maybe coming to the fingertips. Draw the chin in slightly. I often catch myself jutting the chin forward. The more I'm on the computer, the more this is happening. So if you're on your computer often, please be conscious of that and maybe draw the chin in to help out. And then we'll begin to lower down. So we're here for a couple minutes, letting the neck deactivate, letting the head, as a result, get heavier. Again, if you have a little space for that left foot to scooch to the left, but still keeping the hips level, go ahead and move into that. If you still have plenty of space and you want to go a little deeper, you can bring left side of the face to the mat, or right, really. But left feels good to me, and then that left arm behind with the palm flipped up. So you kind of snuggle that left shoulder into that left thigh or knee. Continuing to settle into this for a little bit more. About 2 more deep breaths. And then we'll start to rise, reversing out of this. So hands come down, we can roll over the back toes, scooch that left foot back to central position, right knee comes up. And then we'll take the left foot back. We're in that spinal balance again where we were before. And hopefully it feels different. Let's come into that modified side plank. Right foot comes out to the right, left leg extended, left foot comes down, left arm reaches up. And of course, if you want to find that full side plank, you can. Then we'll go ahead and move the left arm from thigh to up and over the left ear. So then we have this left arm risen, and this is where we go into that posture that doesn't have a name because I just explored yesterday and found it. And I said, this feels actually quite good. So we're going to take the left foot and plant it right along the left side of the mat. And then we'll take the right leg, roll over the back toes, scooch the foot back, and then roll to the outer right foot. So we could just call it maybe a twisting dragonfly with a modified right leg. And again, it's really intense on the hand. It does feel pretty different when you take forearm down, left arm reaching up. A couple deep breaths. And the left hand comes down. Come back to a table and let's rest in child's posture for a moment. So knees down, maybe they spread apart. Release the hips down, lower the head. Arms can be extended forward with the forearms lifted or more relaxed in the arms. The arms can also be alongside the body. While you're in this position, actually, we're going to take the arms behind and take right fingers to hold the left wrist right over the tailbone into yoga hand gesture, yoga mudra. Completely letting go with the next exhalation. Breathing in. Maybe even sighing out. Letting go of all the events of the day, all the thoughts, all the feelings, emotions that came through. Just releasing. And we'll switch hands, left fingers to the right wrist. Taking another deep breath in. Letting go, sighing out through the mouth. Let's rise up to table. And we're going to come right into a forward fold. So if you'd like to stop at downward facing dog on the way, you can, but otherwise you can roll over the toes and walk the hands back or step the feet forward, either way. I think one standing posture would be good. So just releasing down to start. Hips feel good, back of the legs feel tight. Noticing that. Maybe the knees are bent to compensate for that. A couple more breaths. And the next inhalation, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the hips with the knees bent. Inhale, pressing into the feet to rise up to standing with the knees straight back. All right, how about two standing postures? So we'll start with intense side stretch, and then we'll go into one balancing posture. So hands to hips, starting at the top of the mat. Let's step the left foot to the back of the mat. Not too far, and then we'll just start to lower the left heel down. How about a little bit of a bend in the right knee for a moment? We're not going to stay here. But then we'll straighten the right leg. Take the hands behind and find opposite elbows with the hands, or reverse prayer. Okay, so toes pretty much all facing forward, maybe left toe slightly to the left, but not by much. Next inhale, lift the heart, take the head back. On the exhalation, begin to send the heart forward and just come halfway down, where we can set up the hips, right hip back, left hip forward. Keeping both legs straight. If you have to bend a leg, I guess let it be the left leg, and then you can even pick up the front foot. So even if you try that from straight legs, go ahead and bend back leg and pick up front foot, but just keep the heel down. Hopefully I mentioned that. And you'll get that stretch in the right calf. But if you can keep the leg straight then, and the back fairly straight, then maybe lowering a little further, heart towards the right foot, nose towards the right toes. Another deep breath. Feeling a deeper release. And then we'll inhale, rise up, keep the arms as they are. Pivot to the back of the mat, so we'll go right into the other posture, or the other side in the same posture. Setting up the feet, toes pretty much forward. Inhale, lift the heart, engaging the thighs, lift the head. Exhale, send the heart forward. Set the left hip back, right hip forward. And then from here, again, maybe we just experiment. Bend the right leg and flex the left foot. We didn't bend that left knee, did we? So let's come out of this. Come back up and just bend the left knee for a moment. So in a little bit of a lunge. And then we'll come back to where we were. So finding that length, hinging, left hip back, right hip forward. Again, maybe staying where you are with the left foot flexed, or maybe being able to go a little deeper, keeping length in the spine. A couple more breaths. And And we'll inhale, begin to rise. You can release the hands if we're in reverse prayer. Give the wrists a little bit of motion. It's a pretty intense position. So then I'd like to find a tree posture. So if you need some support of a wall or a chair, find the left side of the body towards that support. Otherwise, we will be standing with palms together, thumbs to the heart center, shifting the weight to the left leg, engaging that thigh and the glute, and then bringing right foot to the inside of the right thigh. So if you have that support, then you can take that foot up a little higher and, utilize the support. But now we're going to press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot while we're sending the right knee to the right. And draw the chin in slightly here. Relax the neck. Maybe take the arms up or one arm up. And soften the eyes while you're here. So body is a little challenge, but soften the eyes. Soften the forehead. Soften the nose, the cheeks, the temples, the jaw, the chin, the scalp, and the ears. Standing strong at the same time, and then releasing out. Going right into the other side. Right foot down, shift to the right leg, left foot to the inside of the right leg. Now maybe the right side of the body is facing your support. So the legs pushing into each other. And then once again, maybe arms reach up. And preventing any tension from building up in the face, relaxing even more deeply through the mask, through the forehead, through the eyes, the eyelids, the cheeks, the temples, the jaw, the chin, the nose, the ears, relaxing the scalp, feeling the neck relaxed. Light and strong at the same time. One more deep breath. And then find your way out and releasing. Let's come down to seated. So from seated, we haven't moved through any cat-cow and it's almost time to rest. What I want to do is get some motion happening in the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. So you have an option. You can hold the front shin or you can hold the shoulders. But we're going to be basically taking elbows back or shoulders back and then exhaling. Head comes down, shoulders forward, chest back. Inhaling, exhaling, and maybe you alternate and take a few with hands to the leg and then a few with hands to the shoulders and just see how that feels. Let's go a little longer. And one more time, exhaling, and then we'll inhale, coming to a tall seat. Take the shoulders up, back, down, move the head left and right a few times. Or you can really tell how little we move the head when we actually move the head. All right, so let's come to center and then take the head up and down. And bring the head to center, lift the right ear up. It's really important to release voice when, especially you had any tension prior to this moment. So by default, just putting some effort into letting that voice go. Now bringing the head to center and lifting the left ear. And we'll bring the head to center. A little bit of motion with the head. Now, of course, I'd like to go through, 5 or 6 more postures, maybe 10 or 15, but this is a 30-minute practice. So what we'll do now is each person, just go ahead and find your final posture before you start to come to rest. So move around. Maybe it's a forward fold. Maybe it's more work with the neck. Maybe you're ready to go to the back and take a simple spinal twist. Whenever you've completed that posture, you'll find your way to lying down completely relaxed, preferably on the back with the feet apart from each other and the hands away from the trunk by maybe 6-10 inches. And the purpose for that is so that you aren't distracted by any of the sensation on the skin. So you aren't experiencing that skin on skin or hand to cloth or anything like that, so that you can kind of separate from the body to some degree. But if you feel another position that feels right to you, feel free to be there as well. And then we'll start to let go once you're there. Take a few breaths out through the mouth, and again, let there be a vocalization. Release through the sound of your voice. And allowing the feet to relax, the soles of the feet, the heels, the ankles, the toes, then allowing the lower legs to become as heavy as the feet. Allowing the knees to release, soften, and become heavier and heavier. And the upper legs heavier as you relax them. The hips, the pelvis, releasing them completely as they become heavier. The belly and the low back and the waists, left and right, becoming heavy. Now the solar plexus, the rib cage, and the mid-back becoming heavy. And the chest and the upper back becoming heavy as you relax them completely. releasing through the shoulders and the arms to the elbows, the forearms, feeling the wrists release, all the fingers releasing, the palms of the hands and the tops of the hands. Feeling the neck become heavier as you completely deactivate it. And feeling the head become heavy with the facial expression completely relaxed, the scalp released, the whole body soft, relaxed, and released. Just go a little deeper as you let everything else go. A little deeper, letting everything else go. Just pause there for a moment. And begin to bring lightness to the experience of your body by taking a few deep breaths. All the areas of the body that we allowed to get heavy and all the areas we didn't verbalize also. Allowing them to now feel lighter and lighter so that the whole body feels as light as a feather. And then just settling into the body, being fully present in it again. Starting to move it around very gently at first with the fingers and the toes. Moving the head side to side. Maybe stretching the arms behind and finding length. And then exhaling the knees in, wrapping arms around the knees. Rolling to the side, noticing how you feel at this time. And resolving to take this state of being in a relaxed mental position and feeling a sense of openness as a result. So that whatever comes for the rest of the evening, you are simply open to it. And then once you're ready, begin to rise up to seated. With the palms together, the eyes closed. And we'll seal this time that you spent in the process of letting go and the process of rejuvenating and coming to your center. Let's seal that with the sound of Om, breathing in. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste.